How you doing? Welcome to this next video in our series of 100 videos in 100 days. Today I'm going to talk about the single most important gift from stopping drinking alcohol. I think the best gift that I have had, the best benefit that I've had from these 9 years of not drinking alcohol. It starts the day that you stop, and it keeps growing as you move into this journey towards self-mastery and towards that best possible version of yourself. The one thing that really matters more than anything else is freedom. It's the one thing that I've gained more than anything else out of this whole journey. And really, I didn't realize how much was being taken away from me until I stopped. I didn't realize how much I was sort of imprisoning myself into a way of life, a way of thinking, a way of behaving, just everything in my life. And it's a gradual process that you don't notice. It's just taken away little, sip by sip by sip. It's a self-made prison, and it's amazing how much alcohol drinking just really depresses your life. And like I said, a lot of this journey has, for me, it's really unfolded, and the real truths behind this journey and the real truths about what I've gained from this journey have unfolded over time. And it's only in hindsight when I'm looking backwards and I'm saying to myself, hey, how did I miss this? How did I not see this happening to myself? And like I said, it's like everything that's happened since I've stopped drinking alcohol. Everything that I've done, everything that I've achieved has been a slow process. In the moment, there's a lot of boring work, there's a lot of repetitive work that goes into making anything happen, into any success in life. But it's also the same way, the opposite way, on the way down, on the way to failure. It's a very slow process, and it happens. There's times when things, you just get a kick in the teeth, and something can be catastrophic failure. But in general, failure happens over more time, over a long period of time. So, one change can really smash through those boundaries, in the sense that it changes your outlook, or it changes the way that you think about things. It can open up a lot of different possibilities to you, which is, I think, what happened when I stopped drinking alcohol. I think it's such a great opportunity when you do stop drinking alcohol, that it opens up your potential much more than otherwise would have been, if you get what I mean. So anyway, the quick start preparation guide is still available down below if you want that. It's going to be available for the foreseeable future anyway. So click on the link. It's absolutely free. It's just our guide to try and give you some clarity about where you are, where you're going to go, help you to see yourself from a different light, to give you a bit more perspective and a bit more self-confidence, and above all, to really give you a bit of courage, to help you to find the courage within yourself to step across that line. The 100 videos are finished. This is the penultimate video. So this one and the next one, tomorrow's video, and that's it. We're going to be finished, and I'm sort of happy that it's finished, because a lot of work went into it, and yeah, I'm just really dying to get onto other things now. But we'll be publishing a video every Sunday from now on, at 6 o'clock Spanish time, so 6 o'clock my time. And yeah, hopefully you'll tune in for that, and we'll see what happens in the future. I mean, I've got a few plans for what's going to happen, but a lot of that stuff is not going to happen for a while yet. So also, if you want to join us, if you still want to carry on getting your daily videos, your daily dose, then you can go up here, which is www.habitsv2.com. We've got a whole platform over there with daily videos and group calls, group Zoom calls, group strategy sessions, where we try and piece apart or take apart habits, and we try and piece together what we're going to do to try and get to the best possible versions of ourselves. We've also got some one-on-one sessions, and we've got a community. We've got a whole lot of stuff over there anyway. So that's over there if you want to do that. For me, one of the simplest ways that I can explain this to you is, and I think that one of the ways that you can understand this if you're just starting out with this journey, is that freedom to get up every morning without a hangover. That on its own is worth so much. just to get up every day and know that that fucking hangover is never, ever going to be there again. It's worth whatever discomfort you have to go through, even if that discomfort is for 2 or 3 months, and it's never that long. You can turn up the dial of your discomfort a lot. You can turn it down as well by just the way that you look at this journey, the way that you view yourself, and the mindsets that you have. So, if you've got to go through a bit of shit in the first couple of months, that's the price that you got to pay. Those months are going to pass really quickly. So, to start your day off right, that's an often quoted phrase that I hear a lot. Start your day off right by getting up and start in the morning right. Well, I tell you what, if you're laying explosives, if you're laying landmines the night before, right, under the foundations of this new day, if you're filling yourself full of poison the day before, then you've ruined the day before you even start on that new day. So how can you expect those to have strong foundations in the morning? How can you expect, I think it's Hal Elrod, I think his name was, who wrote a book called The Miracle Morning. Very good book, by the way, if you want to read a book on how to really get your day started off right. Then he talks about this, this is the way that you should get up. This is the way that you should do this. You should do that and the other. But if you've ruined your day from the night before, and even 1 or 2 drinks is going to interfere with your sleep, which is going to have a knock-on effect in the next day, and your thinking, on your emotions, on your energy levels, on your mood, and do that over and over again. And those effects, like I said earlier on, they're all cumulative. They may not matter in the moment, but you do that enough times, and that's how you fuck up a life, So just having that freedom to wake up refreshed, to know you're not going to have a hangover, that is such a reward in life, coming from a place where you're always in some form of hangover, even if you hadn't drank for a couple of days. This is from my perspective. Even if I hadn't drank for a couple of days, I was still under that mental fog from the couple of days ago drinking. I'd feel like it was coming around, but it's only when you stop drinking alcohol, you understand what really coming around is, what really, when your mind is fresh and it's away from this poison. So, getting up every day refreshed, getting up every day and eating a good breakfast, which I didn't do when I was drinking, thinking straight, which I didn't do when I was drinking, planning the day, which I didn't do when I was drinking, knowing that when you put those plans into action, that they're going to be done for the most part, getting out, getting some exercise, doing things, just doing things, that doing the small things is the thing that is has the cumulative effects over time. So, and then at the end of the day, you go to bed naturally tired, and you sleep well, and you dream well, and you wake up again the next morning refreshed, and the whole thing carries on like that, So, as I said, cumulative effects of one way of living, getting drunk, and that is a cumulative effect that you don't notice. And the other side, when you stop drinking alcohol, and you have the cumulative effects on the other side. So, the freedom of getting up every day, forever, never having another alcohol hangover ever again. And I say alcohol hangover because I've had a couple of food hangovers where I've eaten the night before, but you just get so sensitive to your body gets sensitive when you stop. So biggest thing is freedom of mind. The hangover thing is something that you might be able to understand, but you'll only understand the freedom of mind once you get into this and you really are a couple of months into it and you see the changes. You look back and see how far you've come in just a couple of months. Think about the positive productive routines that you can build for yourself. All those behaviors that you can nurse, and the habits that you can establish, the mindsets, all the values and principles that you can adopt, and all of these things you can cultivate. Think about them like the most precious flower that you're trying to cajole and just feed and cultivate. You're trying to make sure that it has the best life possible. That's what you should be doing with yourself. So if you'll allow me to talk about my own journey again a little bit, I used to get up in the days. I used to sit there for the most part for the first couple of hours. And, depending on how much of a drinking session I'd had the night before, I'd sit staring into space. I mean, I remember sometimes just for the full day, just feeling ill, feeling sick, feeling not wanting to talk to anyone, not wanting to do anything, not wanting to get dressed or do anything, because I was that zonked out, zoning out in front of the TV. I can't tell you how many times I sat in front of the TV. I wasted sitting in front of the TV, watching daytime TV, because that's really all my mind could take. I couldn't take anything else. Watching Jerry Springer, and sitting there riveted to Jerry Springer. And because, well, for one thing, it made me feel good about myself a little bit. I could look at those pictures on the screen, look at those poor people that were up there. And I could say to myself, look at those losers. At least I'm not there. At least I'm not in that state. And then it made me feel better about myself. How pathetic is that, to be in that such a state of mind that that's what you think, that's what your level of cognitive power is, I suppose, for want of a better word. And the other side, well, I've never watched daytime TV in the 9 years since I've stopped drinking alcohol. I can tell you that much. I get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, take the dogs out for a quick walk, I feed them, I settle down for a coffee, some reading, a little bit of planning for the day, some thinking. We after breakfast, I take the dogs out for a longer walk. The two of us have a good chat, walk around a good distance, maybe 3 or 4 kilometers with the boys. And I always get done during the day what I've planned to do, get back from the dogs, get into work. And I enjoy my work. It's not my work, it's my passion in life, So to find the passion in life, it's just, that's the best thing to do. If you're working just to get to the evening, then that's something that you have to change. My days are filled with productive work or enjoying doing the simple things, having a coffee or a bocadillo down at the local restaurant under the sun, taking in the mountain air, going up to the mountains for a chilling out session or a relaxing session, and just having a very balanced, contented, learning, progressing life, moving towards, it's a journey towards something which I might never get to, but it's the journey that counts more than anything else. The freedom to make rational mistakes and to learn and to grow is another thing. It's again, to give you a personal example, small things can take on disastrous proportions in a weakened mind. When your mind is weak, when your mind is under that fog of alcohol, it's very easy to make mountains out of molehills, to take small things in life, to small problems, and just magnify them out of proportion altogether. And it's easy to see why that happens, because with alcohol, it's easy to sweep things under the carpet, to sweep a problem under the carpet until tomorrow, or to sweep a bad emotion under the carpet until tomorrow. And then what do you do with all those bad emotions? Because they're all going to come back again. All those problems are going to come back again, and they're all multiplied. And small problems become big problems, and big problems become problems that you can't solve, that are going to take a lot of thinking, and way more thinking than you're able to do in that present condition that you are. So, alcohol drinking life for me was really 2 parts. One part was drinking, right? The obvious drinking, usually the evenings and the weekends, especially in the weekend afternoons and the early evenings of the weekend. So then the other part of me was the recovering part. So you got the drunk and sober, drunk, sober, drunk, sober, drunk, sober, and around and around and around and around. That's what my life was for years. That's why I don't call myself sober, by the way, because the sober part was the in-between part when I was drunk. And I want to forget that as much as possible. So I never remind myself of that. I'm never in that position anymore. Don't drink alcohol now. I don't put that shit inside my body at all. And that's the way I think about myself. I'm not in recovery. I'm not sober. I'm just something I used to do in the past, and now that's gone. So when you're in that state, your mistakes are compounded. You know, you can't learn from your mistakes quick enough because your brain is in that fogged up, messed up state. You know, and think about the mistake that you're making over and over and over again, the one of putting this poison into your body. That's a lesson that you could learn every day. You know, stop putting the poison into your body. Watch your life quickly morph into something much better. You know, there is no growth, at least not across your whole life in all areas. With alcohol, you can't. I mean, you can grow in specific areas because you've got to really, you've got to narrow your focus, because so much of your focus is going onto the drug that it's impossible. You've only got 24 hours in the day, and you need a certain capacity in your life to be able to do things. And the more alcohol you drink, the less your capacity is, the less your capabilities are. So the more, the less you are capable of doing something, the more focused you've got to get on the areas that are essential, like feeding yourself, paying for the rent, doing the essential things just to keep your head above the water. Do you get what I mean? So again, I like to contrast this, you know, again, with my past and now. The freedom to make mistakes and to stay calm, the freedom to learn and to grow and to compound that learning into experience and into more experience. And day after day, you're compounding the learning, you're compounding the experience, you're compounding the lessons. Day after day, you're exploding your potential in a really, it's like a slow motion explosion. Doesn't seem to be making any sense in the beginning, but as you're moving forward, you start to see that happening. But you can only do that with the freedom to do it. And that's what I'm saying about alcohol. Stopping drinking alcohol will give you a freedom beyond anything that you can get outside of that. So there are so many freedoms that you deliver to yourself when you have the courage to change. Take good care of yourself. I will speak to you again soon. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for our course yet, the free course is down below. It's less than an hour long, and it will really help you to get a good perspective before you stop. And it will help you afterwards as well to reduce the cravings, to reduce a lot of the fear, a lot of the negative expectations that you can have. And yeah, if you really want to invest a little bit of money and time into yourself, then you can go to our platform, habitsv2.com. Take care of yourself. I'll speak to you again tomorrow for the final video. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.